The video sort of cut out, but continuing on, women took on more responsibilities to support the war effort. Most Virginia women farmed and supported troops. They continued to work at the farms when the men were fighting in the war. They made clothes for the soldiers in the Continental Army and cared for the soldiers who were wounded. And African Americans were divided about the Revolutionary War. Some enslaved African Americans supported the British, which promised them freedom. Who promised them freedom? I promise freedom. While some free African Americans fought for independence from Great Britain, some American Indians fought alongside the Virginia Patriots, while others fought for the British. American Indians in Western Virginia fought against the Virginia Patriots to protect their land, while others volunteered to fight against the British. Some Virginians were neutral and did not take sides, while other Virginians remained loyal to Great Britain. So, this is for contributions of Virginians during the Revolutionary War. And some people you may know, others you may not. This is George Washington, also known as the first president of the United States. George Washington provided military leadership by serving as commander-in-chief of the Continental Army during the American Revolution. Thomas Jefferson, also known as the third president of the United States, provided political leadership expressing the reasons for colonial independence from Great Britain in the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence laid out some basic ideas on which a government should be based. It also gave reasons why Americans should become independent. Patrick Henry, you might not know this person, inspired patriots from other colonies when he spoke out against taxation without representation at the Henrico Parish Church, named St. John's Church 50 years later, in Richmond, Virginia, by stating, "Give me liberty or give me death." The Marquis de Lafayette, a French nobleman, volunteered his service to the Continental Army during the American Revolution. The King of France provided French troops, ships, and money. The Marquis de Lafayette contributed to the victory at Yorktown. James Lafayette, an enslaved African American from Virginia, New Kent County, served as a spy in the Continental Army during the Revolutionary War. He took important military information to other American spies. He successfully requested his freedom after the war with the support of the Marquis de Lafayette. And no, the Marquis de Lafayette and James Lafayette are not related. You should know this by now. There's a difference. There's a difference, people. Okay, so let's read about the American Revolution battles. The Battle of Yorktown. The last major battle of the Revolutionary War was fought at Yorktown, Virginia. The American victory at Yorktown resulted in the surrender of the British Army in 1781, which led to the end of the war. While this victory did not end the war, it was the last significant military battle involving British forces and the Continental Army. The war ended with the Treaty of Paris in 1783. April 1775, Battles of Lexington and Concord. December 1775, Battle of the Great Bridge. July 1776, the Declaration of Independence was signed, meaning that the United States was now independent. The September of 1781, the Battle of Yorktown. September of 1783, the Treaty of Paris. Virginia, American Revolution. A variety of factors explain the reasons for moving Virginia's capital. Reasons why the capital was moved from Williamsburg to Richmond. The population was moving westward. across the fall line for more opportunities. Richmond was a more central location in Virginia. The James River allowed English supply ships to dock in deep harbors and maintain transportation links. Moving to Richmond increased the distance from the sea and possible attack by the British. Richmond has been the capital of Virginia since 1780, except from 1861 to 1865, because that Richmond was the capital of the Confederacy at that point. Contributions to a new nation. George Washington is called the father of our country, and James Madison is called the father of the Constitution. Compromise. Terms to know. Compromise. Each side gives up something they want in order to reach an agreement. Constitution. A document that outlines the plan of government. The actions and ideas of Virginians formed the basis for the new constitutional government of the United States. Virginians were important participants in the establishment of the new government. Background information. The Constitutional Convention was held in Philadelphia in 1787, with 55 of the 73 delegates present. All states were represented with the exception of Rhode Island. The purpose of the meeting was to discuss problems among the 13 states. The delegates had many things in common. All were men who owned property. More than half of them were lawyers. Most of the delegates had fought besides George Washington in the Continental Army, and many had also helped write the constitutions for their own states. George Washington, Virginian, Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army during the American Revolution, was elected as the first President of the United States of America, often called the father of our country, provided the strong leadership needed to help the young country grow and develop through difficult times, provided the model of leadership for future presidents. James Madison believed in the importance of having a United States Constitution, kept detailed notes during the 1787 Constitutional Convention, which helped the delegates understand the process of developing this most significant document, used his skills at compromise to help the delegates reach an agreement during the difficult process of writing the Constitution of the United States of America. It's often called the father of the Constitution. The United States Constitution set up a central government with three main branches: legislative, to make laws; executive, to carry out laws; and judicial, to decide if laws have been broken. The delegates of the Constitutional Convention officially signed the Constitution of the United States on September 17, 1787. Next part up soon.